All right. It's about 5 minutes, actually 6 minutes past. Welcome everyone to another Tech Tuesday. My name is Karamoko and I will be talking to you guys about some cool tech software you can use as a realtor. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right now. Let's see. Okay. All right, so I always like to get started on this screen. Just to remind you guys, you can always go back and watch the previous Tech Tuesdays. These meetings are recorded, so I will drop the link to this channel into the chat so you can check the previous meetings, see what we talked about, learn some things. Or if you can't make it to any of these meetings for any reasons, you always have this catalog to refer to at any moment. And of course, you can always contact me as well if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help in any way I can. Okay, and I'll also drop my contact information in there very shortly for you guys. Feel free to interrupt me at any moment with any questions. Can be related to what we're talking about or something totally different. If we have the time, you can drop stuff in the chat or unmute yourself or raise your hand. Okay. Welcome to all the new folks. Give me 1 second. All right. For sure. You're very welcome. So today I want to talk to you guys about eProperty Watch, which is a software you have access to as part of your MLS subscription. So once you go ahead and log in to your CRMLS through your local association, you have a bunch of apps available to you right here. A lot of these are free of charge for you to use. And today we'll be talking about this one right here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's really awesome. It's a way for you to get in touch or stay in touch with potential clients that you've worked with, people you just want to keep in your pipeline, and always make sure eProperty Watch. Yes, it's awesome. Yes, it'll help you stay in touch with your clients. It'll send them automatic market reports for their area, changes in their neighborhoods, all that free of charge to you. It's like a personal assistant that is just there working for you 24 hours 7. Very cool stuff. So when you guys log into your local association, you will see this right here under the CRMLS additional products. Some of you guys might not have some of these apps, but I find that most people have, eProperty. At least I've not met anyone who does not have it, along with the Cloud CMA tools, which we covered in the previous Tech Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and click on here and we'll get started. I'll walk you guys through how it works and what the process looks like to using it. Okay. So once you guys click on the app, you'll get greeted with this screen most likely. I've already signed up, but when you guys get to the screen right here, you're going to either see a create an account page. If not, you can just go ahead and click login right here. And through here, you can automatically log in if you already had made a password or you were playing around with it just to try it out. But on the previous screen that we were just on right now, at the first time you click on this, it will give you the option to sign in using your CRMLS credentials, I believe, or at least make an account so that you can start using it. And this is something that's free that you do not have to pay for. There are additional features you can pay to have, but I find that the basic functionalities it comes with are pretty extensive already. So feel free to play around with it. If you need extra features, you can go ahead and opt in for that at an additional fee. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log in right here. I already have my credentials saved. And let's see. So once you log in, you'll get greeted with this screen that you see right now. Okay, and don't mind my pauses every so often. It's people joining the room or maybe me reading a question, okay? And again, any questions anytime, leave it in the chat or interrupt me at any moment. All right. So once you log in to the software, you'll get greeted with this screen. You'll see welcome with your name right next, and you'll see a bunch of little boxes as you see right here. And I'll go through each of these, but before I get to the dashboard, so we're currently on the dashboard right now. Before we get to what each of these boxes mean, you want to make sure all of your information is in the software to use it at its fullest potential. Okay, so we'll get started by clicking on our username at the top right, and then we'll go to user settings. Once we do that, you can make sure that your name is in there and it's spelled correctly. And you go ahead and put your email address. So this email you see right here is what will be displayed on your marketing material. So whatever email gets sent out through eProperty Watch, you want to make sure it's your work email or maybe your business email, whatever you want the clients to see. Okay, so that's what you're going to have on here. And then after you fill this in and everything looks good, make sure to click Save Profile, and that will save that information. Otherwise, if you leave, it will not remember what you did. So we're going to go to the settings, which you can find at the top right here, which is the second thing you want to do. On here, same thing. You want to go through all of this, make sure all of your information is on there, because some of the information you see here will be part of the marketing material that gets sent out with the automated emails eProperty Watch sends out. Okay, so on here, basic stuff, you'll have your name. The sponsor name is you, because if you don't put anything on here, I believe eProperty Watch will just have your broker name or just eProperty Watch, just something generic. You want to make sure you are at the forefront of the mind of anyone who wants to buy and sell real estate. So make sure your name is everywhere. Make sure your email's there. Make sure the phone number is, correct and up to date, and as well as everything else. Same with your DRE license. All your marketing materials should have that stuff on there. Make sure you're compliant. Your office name. Some of these things should automatically be filled out for you, but if not, make sure to fill that in. Tagline, if you have one, you can write that in there. If you have a website, you could pop that in there. The agent ID, this is what you use to log into your CRMLS. So make sure to populate this here. And down here, same thing, your email, your mailing address. If you have an office or if you have a separate location for your mailing address, you could populate that on here. And then under phone number, you can populate your phone number. So for those of you guys who have KvCore, I personally use my KvCore number for all of my marketing material. It's very good because you get to track anyone that calls you. Anyone that sees this number and calls it, KvCore will log that into its system, and you have a record that you can refer to and, add hashtags, add a bunch of, smart campaigns to it. It's really cool stuff. We've talked about KvCore extensively. I keep getting questions about it, so we might revisit certain aspects of KvCore, or if, people are interested in me redoing the whole series, we'll go back into that. It's a very important program. And yeah, so feel free to put your personal phone number. If you have a business phone number you could pop that in here. Or if you want to use your smart number from KvCore, you can populate that right here also. And down here, also self-explanatory. Make sure you have a nice photo of yourself so people can recognize you, and your broker logo. Okay, your brokerage logo. And I think if you are with EXP, you can find this logo on the EXP website. You could just Google EXP logo, and there's this page on the EXP website where you can download all of that material so you can use it whenever you need it. Okay, but I do know marketing materials should have at least your broker's license and sometimes the broker logo. Okay, so do partner with the brokers in the world for more up-to-date information and make sure you're compliant. And down here, you can check, these two boxes right here. First one will just show this equal housing opportunity badge on your marketing material, which is cool. It's nice to, add on there. It lets people know that you support that. And down here, your preferences, what this means is, so once you check this, eProperty Watch will let you sponsor, homeowners in your area. This is a feature to have that I think is pretty cool. So if you check this right here, that will enable you to be part of that. I have everything checked because I want to use all of the features it has to offer. So I encourage you guys to do so as well. And if you want more information on that, you can read the little paragraph right here or press the little I. I think it'll open a page and explain that in detail. Okay, but this is the profile section, and you want to make sure all of this is filled out properly. So once you do so, you can actually preview right here your branding. It'll show you what the information it'll show you what it'll look like once you send out any type of emails. So on the side, there will be the content. So whatever eProperty Watch sends out, it's going to be right here. And this is what your info will look like to the clients or anyone who you send to. Okay, so it has my logo for my brokerage, the photo uploaded, name, etc. Okay. And on the left-hand side right here, you can go to your notifications also. So eProperty Watch can notify you every time, something happens. If a client is sent, specific information about their neighborhood, you can choose how often you are notified. It could be every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 3 months. It's up to you. This is for clients, actually. You can check here to have eProperty Watch send you recent activity reports so that you can also follow along. But this section right here is for the clients. Okay. So every 2 weeks, by default, this will be the email frequency. And right here under that section, you can have yourself be notified when a client is invited, when a client signs up, or when a client deletes a property from their eProperty Watch. Okay, and we'll look into that a little bit later once we finish with this section. Down here, all of this stuff is standard. This is the template you use to invite clients. If you click on the edit right here, it has that letter. So I would not change anything in parentheses. These things autofill, but you can change the text that you see without the parentheses or the bracket, sorry, not parentheses. Yeah, so this is the email they will receive when you invite them. And you can put your own spin to it, make it sound like yourself, or you can leave it as is. I think it's pretty cool already, but you can edit it to make it, your thing, which is pretty nice. Subscription summary. So if we click edit right here, this is an email that they get sent if this gets sent periodically, but it just says, please contact me if you have any questions. Just kind of a nice reminder that you're a realtor. And yeah, if they need anything, they can always get back to you. Okay, you can also edit this email, add on to it, or leave it as is and make it look nice. Okay, and we're going to press save. And of course, whatever you do down there, go ahead and click save to save your changes. So that's the notifications section. And then under here, marketing tools. So this is where if you want more features, such as the marketing tools, you will have to spend a little bit of money. And I think the plans start at about $25. So with this, eProperty Watch will let you create social media widgets that you can post on, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatnot, wherever you want. And people can interact with it and sign up to your mailing list or newsletter, if you will, or a market report that eProperty Watch provides. So it'll kind of look like this. They could put their first name, last name, email, and address, and they will automatically be enrolled for that, periodic email with the status of their home, equity, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, if you do want to use those, it has to be at least $25 right here. If you want more options, obviously it goes up to $100. But unless you have 2,500 people you're actively marketing to, you're not going to need to upgrade. So yeah, the free version is working just fine for me for now. Okay. But that's at your disposal if you do need it. And then down here under accounts, if I go ahead and click there, that's actually where I am. So here you can change your plan. And then down here, you can delete your account if you decide to do so. Okay. And right here, you can also preview your branding too. Oh, we already took a look at that. So this is the settings section and the user settings section. Okay. So right here, you want to make sure all of this stuff is looking good before you start using eProperty Watch to make sure that you're not missing out on any of the features it offers. Okay. Before we move on to actually using eProperty Watch, do we have any questions about anything I just said right now? Could be anything at all. Drop anything in the chat or interrupt me at any moment. Alrighty, no problem. And remember, these are recorded. I always upload the meetings after we're done on the YouTube channel. So if I'm moving a little fast, you can always refer to those, okay? So now, once you're done with this section, we're gonna move to, let's actually go to the client section. I think I'll cover the dashboard last. So under the client section, for you, you probably won't see nothing. I was playing around with the application, so I just made a few test contacts right here. So for you, this will be blank. So I know some people have contacts that they keep on their CRMLS. I'm not sure if you guys knew that was a thing, but let me see if I can open it up. If you open up your matrix, there's actually a contacts section. Okay, if you hover over right here and you go to contacts, you can actually save people's contact information right here. So eProperty Watch can actually have those imported over and you can start marketing to those people right away. Okay. If you click on the import button right here, it will take you to the client import page where you can then click on import from, and it'll give you the option to do so right here. You can import from your matrix, or if you have a CSV file, spreadsheet with all of those contacts, you can just upload that as well. And it will all be populated on here very quickly for you. And they even have a sample import file. That way you can make sure all the column names are appropriate for, eProperty Watch to recognize. And I think I actually downloaded that just so you see what it kind of looks like right here. So you want to have a first name, last name, email, and street address section. Okay. So you kind of want it to look like this before you upload that on there so that eProperty Watch can recognize the columns and process the file correctly. If you don't have anything to import, we're going to go back to the client section. And then from here, you can actually create contacts manually. So say you meet someone who's interested in enrolling in, property updates. You would just click on the client section up here. You would click on new. And right here, you can add their first name, last name, email, and their address. And then you would press send. So what that will do is actually send that person an email asking them to, an invitation email asking them to be part of your eProperty Watch, or their eProperty Watch, I guess, using the address you provide for them. And once that email gets sent, let me show you guys what that looks like. So that'll look like this, okay? Oh, let me minimize this. So they'll get an email looking like this. And of course, your branding is going to be at the top right here with your name, brokerage logo, your photo. And down here, it'll have a nice, written email with their address at the top. And the subject of the address of the email is actually their property. So I was doing a little bit of digging, and apparently they have about 53% of the emails that eProperty sends out actually gets opened by, the people who receive them, which if you're into sending out marketing, campaigns through email, 53% is very, very high. Okay. The way they send out their stuff, it makes people want to click on it. So you'll get a lot of people that periodically, come on and view the email and learn more and, play around with it. So it's a really cool and engaging way to stay in touch with your clients, which is what we want as agents, because we always want to be top of mind. So this is what the invitation email is going to look like. It'll have their property info, an estimate of what their property is worth. I believe eProperty works through CoreLogic, which is one of the biggest, real estate institutions out there, and their property valuation is used by, I think, many banking institutions and whatnot. So it's as accurate as it'll get in terms of automation and, software calculating the value of a property. So they're going to have that on there, and it'll have a nice line saying their property has an increase of X amount over the past year. And they have the option to click on these two buttons right here. So no matter which button they click on, they will actually be subscribed to your eProperty watch. It looks like Tell Me More is a more cautious button for them to press, but whether they click on this one or not, they will be enrolled, and they have the option to unsubscribe later down the line. Okay. So once they click Tell Me More, I'm actually going to do that right now. Actually, before I do that, this is the email in question, Janet, I believe. Yeah, this is Janet. So if I click on Tell Me More, Janet's going to go from orange to green because it will no longer be a pending invitation. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It'll take me to this website. So we're now viewing this as Janet Dean, which is not a real person. It's just something I made up for the sake of this presentation. But this is what your client will see once they click on there. They're going to get all this great information, an estimated value as of, a certain date, and they can contact their agent, which in this case would be you, for a more accurate information. So maybe you could provide them with a CMA, to get a more accurate representation of the value of their property. They get all this cool stuff they can take a look at, change in value, estimated equity, very, very cool stuff. Well, for eProperty Watch, you do have to have their full address because they won't be able to see all of these. And I'm answering your question, Melissa. This is tailored to their specific property. Okay, so you need to have the full address on there. Otherwise, they won't be able to see, their equity and mortgage balance and whatnot. Okay. So when you do this, you can't just put a zip code on there or a city. It has to be very specific to that person. Okay. Yeah, so this is what they'll see. And of course, you will be at the forefront of the branding at all times. Your photo will be there, your name will be there, and your contact information will be there. Okay, so if they need any help, you are the first person they will be thinking of, because all this marketing, all these emails they receive will have your face on there. So that's a very cool way to keep in touch with people. And yeah, they can click on a couple of these, make their additions. They can even see their mortgage balance. They can update that right here and track it. So this way, this invites them to use this as a portal to see what's going on with their property. Okay, because homeowners, they probably don't care about anything other than their equity. That's what they're going to want to see at the end of the day. See how much their property has appreciated over time, and how much of it they well, what's their equity in it. Okay, and this will provide them that information somewhat accurately, to the best of its ability, at least. They can add mortgages if they have any. They can customize this to their liking by putting that information in there. And yeah, like I said, this kind of becomes a hub for them with all the information they need pertaining to their property. If they scroll down right here, they have a summary of recent sales of similar property in their area, so they can kind of see what things are going for. This kind of primes them because some sellers, as soon as they're ready to sell, they have unrealistic prices based on homes they've seen that are not comparable to theirs. So this kind of primes them just a little bit by actually showing them what's going on in the market next to them. So they can actually see the properties that have sold at what price and how many beds, square feet, and all that information. And they can also see the date, which is awesome. Okay, and I have this nice little graph right here, estimated value compared to recent sales. All right, if we scroll down right here, actually all these boxes here are, sold properties they could take a look at. Some of these might be good comps, some of them might not be, but at least it's a good thing they can see and keep their eyes busy until they call you for that listing appointment. Now, right here, you have a value history. This is probably going to be another favorite graph of theirs. It tracks the value of their home over time. Looks like for this specific one, let's see, eProperty Watch estimates it was worth about 400K in 2012. And now whoever owns this place is sitting around almost $1 million. Well, no, this is 2024. So this line right here actually will estimate the value based on past, based on past performance and past market conditions. It'll try and estimate what the property will be worth. But this line right here kind of shows you where they're sitting at. So still almost at $1 million. And you can see this nice appreciation line, which they get to see. Okay. So this is kind of what they will be able to interact with and do when they're enrolled in your, eProperty Watch. Let's see. Yeah, Angela, I'll go through the back end also, so you know how you can manage all of that information for sure. Yeah. And right here under the details section, they have more information, about their property. They can scroll through all this cool stuff. Let's see, under neighborhood, they have a map, which is very cool. They get to see, new listings, sold listings, refinance, even liens. It's really cool stuff. They can scroll through here and kind of take a look at what's going on around them. And then on this last section right here, they have even more graphs to see what's going on. The median sales price in their zip code, distressed properties, sales volume, all of this great stuff they can take a look at. Okay, so I love how eProperty Watch has this feature, and you can pair it with your branding and be the face of all this, value that they're being provided at no cost. So this will keep them coming back, keep them checking where they're sitting, what's going on in their neighborhood. And the first thought of selling or maybe buying something else would most likely be you, because you will be there at all times. Okay. And also they have the option to invite a friend by clicking at the top right here. So they can also have somebody else sign up. And this is all this stuff you will see on the back end. So anyone who invites a friend will be added to your downline, if you will, and you'll be able to also interact with that person and send them, market updates and whatnot. Okay. So this is what they will be able to see. And if they want to get in touch with you, they can just click on contact me, or of course they have your info right here as well. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. Something else they can do is add a new property that they can manage. So maybe they own more than one property, so they can come up here and add another one that they can track or, just see the information for. So this is what it looks like on the client side, if you will. So now we're going to go back to our screen, which is right here. So I'm going to click on clients once more. Oh, actually, let me close out of this. I'm going to sign in again. It thinks I am Janet, even though I am not. Let's refresh. Let's close this. I'm going to reopen it. Let's close this too. I'm going to log in once more. Awesome. So if I go back to the client section, you can see that Janet turned green because the invitation is no longer pending. And remember, they don't have to click to confirm. Either one of these blue buttons will enroll them, which is pretty cool. Okay. And under here, you can go ahead and go to the client section just like we did by clicking up top. And if you click on details, right here, you'll be able to see all of the information that, that pertains to Janet's property. You can remove a certain property. You have access to the frequency at which they receive notifications. This is something they will be able to control, through their email. It'll have a section under it that says change how often you receive emails. So right now, by default, it is set for once a month. So every 30 days. And you also have an added by section. That way, if, for instance, Janet was to invite a friend using that button we showed a few seconds ago, you can see that, you can see the people who are referring your services to other people. And that way you kind of know where people are coming from. But if it's you who manually added the person, it'll say agents down here. Custom value. So upon adding a property, adding someone's property, it will give you the option to add a custom value to it, or you can go with the real AMV, which is basically an estimate that CoreLogic provides for you. Okay, so that's this section, and you have up top right here, this is the date you invited the person, and it'll give you a status, whether it's pending, accepted, or just ignored. Down here, you will be able to see the notifications that were sent, and you can actually see if it's been opened or not opened. And if you click on view right here, you can see what's been sent out, which is pretty cool stuff. Okay, so this is the only email we sent out, which is this one you see right here. We're going to go back, close this. Awesome. And down here, all the way down, you can kind of change how do you say? You could change their name or change their email address in case they have a preferred one on there. Okay, so this is as far as eProperty Watch offers, at least on the free versions. I don't know if on the higher tiers you have more control over what kind of information they see or what gets sent out. But as far as the free version goes, everything is automated. And let me see, I think it was Angela that asked the question. Yeah. So Angela, Property Watch is going to do everything. You can see what's being sent out to people, but you can't necessarily filter specific information, if that makes sense. You kind of just have the control of stopping, their email notifications, maybe changing their frequency. But eProperty Watch just has that portal available to them, and they just kind of see all of the different fields on there. Okay, and I want to make sure I'm fully answering your question. Did that answer the question? Maybe. And feel free to reply in the chat. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so they will just kind of see what I just showed you on their end. There's no way, at least that I know of, to change that information. Okay, looks like we have a question. Laura?
Hi, Ken. Good evening.
Hi.
Quick question. It's amazing all the stuff that we have access to, and of course, there's so many options, right, to market and to communicate with clients.
Yes.
How would you compare this to KvCore? Is there a comparison, or would you recommend which one we should be using better or concentrate on? Like, because if we don't want to be all over the place, like, oh, let me try this one, let me try that one. Like, we want to focus on one and specialize one and become experts at one.
Right.
How would you for us newer agents that are just going to try to get familiar with KvCore?
For sure. And this is my opinion. Of course, everyone prefers different apps and different things. But overall, specializing in KvCore will do your business wonders, because you can do a lot of the things you see on here on eProperty Watch. I think of KvCore as, you know, the fundamentals. After you learn how to use KvCore, you pretty much can do all of these things, but KvCore might not do a specific thing as well as, you know, standalone application for a specific task. So I could have my clients enrolled in, you know, this property watch notification, you know, thing, and attach a specific hashtag to those people so I know not to market to them because they're subscribed to this. This thing is kind of a set it up and just let it do its thing, you know, type software. So it comes down to, you know, there's multiple apps to do stuff like this. You kind of have to gauge where you want to put most of your focus. In my opinion, for people getting started, and for myself, this helped me out a lot, specializing in KvCore, making sure all of your contacts are there. And then from there, once you have a firm grasp on that, you can also kind of start looking at programs like these. And even so, vice versa, for people, KvCore might be a little bit, it might be a lot. At first glance, there's a lot KvCore offers. There's a lot of different information, and you can easily get lost. While learning how to work that out, it doesn't hurt to have a program like this already keeping in touch with all your contacts. So there's no standby time, no standby, you know, period of time. You're always on top of it. You're always reaching out to clients. So eProperty Watch specifically, I feel like it can be used in conjunction with KvCore. And the way I do that is having a hashtag for the people I will add on here. And also I use my KvCore smart number for everything. So all of the little applications you use and put your contact information on, you can always link your KvCore website to that and have your KvCore phone number attached to the marketing materials within those, you know, smaller application. So they kind of all work in unison. Anyone who calls me on eProperty Watch will show up on my KvCore. And if they want to see more about me, they will just have to click on my website, which will still take them to KvCore. Okay. But learning how KvCore works will help a lot in making those features talk to each other. Did that kind of answer your question?
Yes, perfect. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
For sure, definitely. Do we have any other questions? No, it doesn't look like it. Awesome. So yeah, this is the client's detail page where you can see all the info pertaining to a specific client. And we have seen all of this. Oh yeah, and if you wish to fire the client or delete the client for any reason, you have a big red button right here to do so. And you can also see their last visit, which is pretty cool. So you know how actively they're looking, or, you know, what's going on in their head. It's pretty cool stuff. So now we're going to go back to clients. And then on here, of course, you can see all of the clients you have added at the moment. You can see how many properties they have, who they're assigned to, their contact information right here. And you can actually heart them for any reason. If you want to mark someone as very, very active, you could do so. Or you can also have them as a blue heart also, which is pretty cool stuff. And you can sort them based on whatever category by clicking up top. Okay. Up here, I think I already went through this. You can search for specific clients. Of course, if you use this app over time, this is going to build up. You're going to have a lot of people in here, so you can search through them. You can import extra clients just like we showed. You can export the people on here. Okay, so if you want to migrate from here to KvCore, if you feel more comfortable using this first, you can go ahead and export those contacts, and it gives you the option to export everyone, export the people who you know, are active, you know, people who visited the website in the past 90 days, or just export anyone who confirmed their email. Okay, so you have those options, and you can also delete and mask through here. Okay. Let's see, we're going to go to the reports page now, which is pretty self-explanatory stuff. This section right here will show you different metrics as far as how many people you're inviting, versus how many are confirming your invites. Yeah, it'll have a bunch of cool metrics you can see. The properties that were opened, number of properties per client, and the activity of the clients. Okay, so you can check that stuff out there. And then lastly, we have the dashboard right here. Okay, so on here, you'll kind of get an overview of what's been going on. You get to see this right here just shows how many have confirmed their emails versus how many people are pending. So for me, it's 2-1 right now. And you have this graph right here that'll also show over time. Also right here, self-explanatory stuff. You can refresh, see what's going on with the recently invited people, whether or not they've accepted it. And yeah, you could see your subscription emails right here and your open rates. Okay, so if you're not satisfied with your open rates, remember you can go ahead and tweak the wording in some of the emails that get sent out as we've seen. So maybe people are more likely to click on it than or vice versa. Okay, so this right here is the core eProperty Watch by CoreLogic. Pretty cool software. Highly recommended for people who just want something simple to get started with, and make sure you never stay out of touch with a client, because I forgot what the statistic was, but I think it was something crazy, like 80% of people who use a realtor to sell their homes, when it's time to sell their house again, 80% of the time they don't even remember the name of the agent who helped them out. So staying in touch with people will do your business wonders by always being in front of them, at the forefront of their mind, and sending them nice emails such as these. Okay. And yeah, do we have any questions about eProperty Watch? Anything at all, even if it's unrelated? How are we all looking on this? Okay. And I think someone asked a question in the chat. eProperty is great. So I don't know if most of you guys knew about this application. I think Suhail, I don't know if I said your name properly. I think hopefully you've been using it. I hope you've had a great experience with it. I can't wait to get into it a little more, but it's an amazing app that I did want to showcase today. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's yeah, I do recommend you guys click through all of the applications you see right here. There's some real gems in there, I promise. And we've looked through the Cloud MLX and Cloud Stream and Cloud CMA. I think those are really fantastic tools to use. But like Laura mentioned, it's great to be knowledgeable on all the resources you have, but make sure to use them in a smart way. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin either. Make sure you have core applications that you use on a daily basis. And once you find another application that does something better and you have a way to integrate it with something you're already using, like KvCore. I love KvCore, by the way. I think it's one of the best CRMs out there. Overall, it just does everything for you. But if you find other applications that you can add on, or find a way to, collaborate with your KvCore, software, it can do your business wonders. And it's all about working smart and hard. You don't want to just work hard, because you might not go as far as you can. For sure, Angela, I highly recommend it. I know we have some new people here. Working on setting up some type of poll so I can interact with you guys as I, talk during these meetings. I'm not sure if all of us have access to KvCore or not, but I feel like I'm going to start getting into that a little bit more. I'm getting a lot of questions about that. As a matter of fact, we have about 10 minutes right here. So I'm going to open that up and kind of do a quick overview of that for the last 10 minutes. And if we have any questions pertaining to KvCore, I can also take those now or as I'm showing that off, okay? Let me see here. Let's see, maybe use both like eWatch for active leads, KvCore. Yeah, for sure. A lot of these applications can take some initial work to set up, yes, but once you do, it just works for you in the background. It's very cool in the way it does that, and everything's automated. And I feel like they're very underutilized tools. Okay. So this is KvCore right here. If you're part of EXP, you should have this as part of your subscription to the brokerage. You have access to features like the playbook, which we've went into in one of the previous videos. And remember, all of this is available to you on the YouTube channel right here. And I have that in the chat. And playbooks is a little extensive. Playbooks is just a quick way to perform certain actions. You know, it's a compiled list of need to do's, or a to-do list, if you will, when you add new contacts. So you can add them to a smart campaign immediately. You can create landing pages on there. You can send out home valuation links to people. It's really cool what you could do with the playbooks, but they're just a way to do everything in one place. But all of the other features that are comprised in the playbook are available to you individually through the smart CRM right here. This is where you're going to keep all your contacts. The most important thing when you get started with KvCore is making sure you transfer all of your contacts on there. So we have also gone through importing all of your phone contacts. If you use an Apple device, I recommend watching this video right here, how to export your cell phone contacts into an Excel and CSV file, because KvCore will only accept those file formats when you import things. And I would like to also talk about importing contacts from software like, cold calling software. I use Mojo, and that's where all of my contacts came from. I exported all of those contacts, and I imported them here onto KvCore, and that allows me to market to them simultaneously. Work smart and hard at the same time, make maximum impact. So really cool stuff. Might make a one of the Tech Tuesdays all about importing once more, maybe from a third-party software, because I feel like a lot of people want to know how to do that. Okay, importing contacts can be a little bit daunting. We have a video on it, but very quickly, let's go ahead and open up the let's see, I think it's a lead engine right here. So under here, if you scroll down under the lead engine, you have the bulk import section right here. You can add people individually or manually, if you will, under the quick action at the top right here. You can add a contact. But if you're trying to add more than one person, which is going to be, I want to say most of us, if you haven't played around with KvCore just yet, you can import your contacts from here. You could start an import. You can do this yourself, or you can have the KvCore team handle it. So I think personally, you should do this by yourself. I did not have a great experience letting the KvCore team handle it. They had stuff in the wrong sections, phone numbers in the email section. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it was not a great experience. And after trying it out myself, it looks hard, but it's not really difficult at all. We've yet again also made a video about just doing that, importing contacts into KvCore. I can't find it right here. It's probably one of the first ones we've made. Let's see. Yeah, importing contacts and setting up your KvCore website. So I'll revisit this again, but before then, you can always refer to this video right here and get started on that. Okay. Let's go back right here. Okay, so this is where you would import all of those contacts. So I encourage you guys to refer to those videos and, take matters into your own hand and get started on that. And under here, KvCore also has a listings section. And on here, you have the opportunity to do a lot of cool different things. So for people who may be looking for open houses, I like to use KvCore to actually ask different agents if they're hosting an open house, because on here you can actually apply a filter by clicking right here. And you can just choose to only view agency listings. This will only show you what's going on in your brokerage. And once you have that filter applied, you can apply that right here. So this right here shows me all of the properties that are listed under my brokerage. And you can scroll through these, click on any of them. Let's choose Almond Road. That sounds good. And right here, you can see, you know, agents information, whether or not they have an open house scheduled. If not, you can contact people, see if they're hosting one, or if you want to do one for them to get more business. I recommend this for new agents. This is a really cool way to do so. Their contact information is right there for you. Send them an email or call them. It's up to you. Yeah, something else that you can do, which is really amazing. I've actually done this a few times for a few properties. KvCore will let you post agency listings to Craigslist with a few clicks of a button. Okay, we've done this a few times, but basically what this does, I'm not going to get into it, maybe in a future Tech Tuesday, but by clicking on this button, post to Craigslist, you can have KvCore automatically create the post for you with the photos, description. It'll even add your smart number on there and go ahead and make that post for you on Craigslist. And you can do 20 of these every single day if you want to. Now, everyone who hops on Craigslist will be able to see that listing and actually call you with your smart number and inquire you about, you know, whatever property they were looking for. It's a great way to generate leads passively at no charge. Don't expect your phone to blow up, you know, every single day, but the more you of these you have out there, the more likely it is someone's going to call you asking about a property, and that's a free lead. I've had about I think 3 people call me just this month from properties I've posted, and that's all just through Craigslist and Craigslist alone. You could do this through Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, and you can also copy the link to the listing and post it on other social media to gain more business on there. Because I personally think the future of, you know, at least the best way to generate leads nowadays, I feel, is just focusing on, you know, you want to be active, be out there, meet people, but also develop your online presence. Because at the end of the day, you're going to capture more leads much faster when you have an efficient method in place to capture leads online through social media, or, you know, through email marketing or newsletters. And yeah, you want to work smarter, not harder. So working on that online presence and marketing yourself on a website and taking advantage of all these tools will, you know, separate you from the typical agent. Okay, so building that online image of yours will do you wonders down the line. And we will talk about creating videos, marketing on Facebook, Instagram. I have a few meetings planned out for those, but I do want to lay the groundwork for apps like KvCore and important apps, maybe like eProperty Watch, that I think are important. Build up the catalog, and maybe we'll get into those. And yeah, so you could do some pretty awesome stuff right here. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions about anything I said? We just about hit the hour mark. I want to make sure I address everyone's questions. The more questions I have, the better it will be to rewatch these for anyone looking to refresh their memory. How are we looking, everyone? Does
Good,
anyone
just
want to
taking
talk
it all
about?
in. Taking it all in.
For sure, for sure. And yeah, I want to open it up to anyone. If you have any suggestions, things you're struggling with, and I can keep a note of it and we could talk about it in the future. But I definitely do want to incorporate more KvCore because I still get a lot of questions about it for sure. Let's see. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that was eProperty Watch for everyone and a little bit of KvCore if you hadn't seen it already. I want to say a warm welcome to all the new people that joined us today. It's nice meeting you. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat right now. Let's see. And you can contact me at any time, text or call, and I can answer any questions if you have any, or maybe set up a one-on-one time if you need something specific. Let's see. So this is my phone number and this is my email. Awesome. With that being said, assuming there's no other questions, Frank, are you here? I'm not sure if Frank is still here. Maybe not. Frank's a busy bee. All right. Well, that was all for the night. Laura, do you have a question?
No.
Oh, your hand is still up.
Oh, it's still
I
up.
just
Sorry,
noticed.
I never put it down.
No worries, no worries. It's
No,
all
thank
good.
you, Kane. As always, you're so patient and you go by, step by step. So looking forward to more trainings. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you all for listening to me for an hour. Nice meeting you guys, new people. Contact is in the chat. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful night, okay?
Good night. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye, guys.